When we landed into Gloucester, it was midnight. I was only 21 years old, and that was the first time I left home. You left home with the ambition or the intention to grasp something, make yourself a better person. You came here, and whatever you get to do, as long as there's a pay packet at Friday, you're happy enough to do it. I mean, I came here and I went into engineering. When I said I gone into engineering, I have no idea of engineering. It's just a matter that it's a job. My name is Carlton Green, and I have been in Gloucester since 1957. My effort, I would say, must have contributed to the rebuilding of this country. I was always in employment. I'm always working. I cannot remember receiving any dole money. I did feel lonely with the society, yes, of course. But since my intention was to earn a few shillings, concentrate on that. And you know, once you were focused on that, I did not take much notice of what was going on around me otherwise.
I came here in 1956. I learned to drive. I passed my test in this country in 1957. Married 1958. Having 7 children. 5 of us brothers was in Gloucester. I have first cousins. So you see, I didn't have any time for myself, really. We thought less or more. Everybody said they come here for 5 years, they want a start in life, and then go back to Jamaica. They didn't want to stay here to spend all their life. I came here, July coming, I was 92 years of age. Did you watch a television and see when they come in first, 1949? Those people treat us like pigs, dogs. Men cried tears in the winter. He said his friend told him, his friend came over before him and told him about, and he came over to his friend. And he said his cows and things like that to raise the money, pay his fare, came over. And he cried. Yeah, well, I was all right because I didn't go to labor exchange or anything to look a job. My brother have a job safe, in the factory. Sometimes you use a ton of cyanide. You got to be very, very careful with this stuff. Dangerous stuff.
The Windrush generation set a pattern where when people start telling you their life story, you think to yourself, well, why didn't you just pack up and go back to the West Indies? But you couldn't do that. You came here, you didn't have any money. Because really, when I came, and although I got the determination to succeed, maybe if I had enough money then, I would have paid my fare and gone back home. But after a while, I stuck to the gun and fight it out, and here I am today. I got no regrets. I had decided to put a little story together about my life story here. So I wrote a book a few years ago called High Hopes and Great Expectations. And the thinking triggered me from the fact that our youngsters are coming along and they really don't know what we've been through, and how can we best explain it to them and let them realize that you don't fall down and stay down. If you fall, raise yourself, get up and get on with life. From my experience in Gloucester here, I would say things are a lot different now than when we came here, because you find people, they intermingle much better than when we came here. Whereas there was a void in our generation between host and us, the visitors. The gap is narrowed down now because, the youngsters are born here, they are educated here, and by right, there shouldn't be much of a void anyway.
Remember, the Windrush people is from 1948 to 1971. Anybody who come on a ship, they're the Windrush generation. England said, come and help build up the mother country. You'll have a better quality job. Remember, in those days, it's a very poverty place. England promised them jobs, promised them a place to stay, and promised them a better quality of life. They all came with skills. They, whether they're carpenter, engineering, nurse, there were quality skilled people coming here. The nurses, they came here in 1947. The British agencies went to Caribbean and trained every female to become a nurse. So when they came here, when they was asked, come and help build up the mother country in 1948, they came here in droves as nurses. That's how the NHS was born in 1948. That's when it was launched.
Listening to Culture talk about his childhood, it's quite interesting. So how things were for him as like a first generation Jamaican living here. He's talking to us today about just stories from the Caribbean and about the Windrush generation. But we've met him before because he goes into schools and he works with children. He's good fun, isn't he?
He is in my school and he was really good.
Yeah, so we've done some drumming with him before, heard some of his songs, and we thought we'd come along and join in. He makes it really accessible because he's fun.
He makes it very exciting.
Yeah, makes it interesting for children and kind of finds a way to bring it to life.
I think it's really important to have events that celebrate culture and tell us stories about other histories, because as the guy was saying, he wasn't taught his own history. None of us were taught our parts in the war, in colonisation, in so many aspects of history. But yeah, it was lovely. It was really enjoyable.
Today I've been taking part in a Windrush workshop where we have had lots of interesting stories and information about the Windrush experience. My parents both worked in various factories around the Stroud area. Two of my sisters became nurses. One of my brothers joined the army, and one of my sisters went into the caring industry. So they came over and brought the experience, the skills that they had, and were able to contribute to life in the UK.
It's very important, not just for the community, but it's very important for me. Because my parents came here in 1958. My father came on the ship, my mother came on the Iron Bird, which is the plane, and they bore me here. So if you don't know nothing about the Windrush generation, that means I don't exist. So it's important that for people who do not know, are not normally exposed to it, they need to know the stories of other people's cultures so that we get a better view of even your story, everybody. When you put all those stories together, then we see the bigger picture. It's about humanity and how we have more support for each other to help each other through our highs and our lows.